G, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So I just finished Stargirl, season 3, episode 9. And oh boy, this was a good one. I'll tell you that. There was an action sequence, like a fight scene at the end, and it was good. I was like, they brought their game this week. Like last week, I was complaining because we don't know who the bad guy is. And this week, we know who the bad. Well, I think we know one of the bad guys. I think I'll get to it in just a second when we get to the end, because I want to talk about the villain reveal. But the fight sequence was, I was like, the whole time I was like, yeah, get him, and everything. It was very, very good. I mean, like for a TV show / CW budget, it was very good. I enjoyed it immensely. I personally enjoy this show. I know that some people don't. I know I talked to a friend that thinks it's just very childish. It's like kiddish. And I'm all like, oh, stop. It's wholesome. I'm like, there's no agenda. There's no politic pushing. And I love that crap because I'm like, me personally, I'm all like, politics ruins everything. And this show has none of that stuff. It's just got everything that you want. It's got a story. It may not be the best story, you know, it's got, and it's just very well done, in my opinion. I enjoy this show, which this day and age, I'm getting sick and tired of not liking shows. I'm getting, it's just, it bothers me, but you know, what are you going to do? Okay. So, I liked the villain reveal. I knew it was going to be a CGI villain, and that's why they didn't do it. And I'm all like, oh, they shouldn't. Like, I don't mind that it's a CGI villain, but it's just like, you guys, you don't have a budget, and so now the fight sequence is not going to be that great, you know? Yeah, that's my only negative about having this villain. And they didn't do what I think they should do, which we'll get to it at the end. I'm going to get to the very end because I don't want to waste too much time. I want to get down to this breakdown, which the breakdown won't be that long because that big chunk of fight sequence at the end, I can't grab stills from that one because it's hard to grab good stills from a fight. Because I constantly have to go back and pause it, and then I'm like, and everything, and then like you get a motion where it's just like a blurred arm over a face, and you're just like, I can't use that. So, like I'll hit play, and then I'm just like, screen grab. So, but yeah, but this, I enjoy this show immensely. I still don't understand what's going on in terms of the mystery of the gambler, but you know, what are you gonna do? Okay, now that I've got all that out of the way and you know, my gushing over this episode, why don't we go ahead and get started on this breakdown. But before I do, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we always get shoved to the back of the line. So please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. Okay, so now that I got that business out of the way, let's get started on this breakdown, suckers. So it starts out with Granny Icicle, and she's got, you know, resting bitch face all the time. Granny bitch face. I don't like her. She's just like not a nice person. Like, I mean, like, you know, I had a grandma. Well, my grandmothers weren't like exactly like, in my opinion, the most pleasant people to be around. But, you know, this one, she is just angry all the freaking time. And I'm like, calm it down. And it seems like she was persecuted for her icicle abilities. Sorry, it's early morning for me. I need the caffeine. But I'm still all like, she's just very angry. I mean, I get that she's angry about her son being killed off and everything, but at the same time, her son wasn't exactly like the best person on the planet. Anyways, so she's, you know, reminiscing and stuff, and she goes over to Cameron's room. She's like, Cameron, are you in there? And she goes in and she's like, where is he? And he's like, he's out in the gardens working on his sculpture. And she's like, I said no more art. He has a duty to his family. And look at her face. Like, she's just like, I'm so angry about his drawings. And I'm like, what? Lady, he's talented, except for that mural of his father, the ugliest thing I've ever seen. And it's a picture of Courtney, but I think she was just upset about the Courtney part, not the art part. So I'm back at the Stargirl house. Mommy Stargirl is waiting for them, and they come in, and she's like, "We got some rest on the bus." She's like, "Yolanda's in your room," And then she's talking to Pat, and she's all like, "Where'd you go?" Oh no, that's later on in the kitchen. And so she's just happy to see them. And Yolanda's sitting there, and she's like, "Yolanda, are you okay?" And she's just like, basically like, my parents. Oh no, that's later on. Hold on. And then these two are in the kitchen. She's like, "What did you see in the shadow realm?" He's like, "I saw my dad." Oh, I see there. I saw my dad. And he said, a lot of the usual stuff. And then he talks about Mike and Mike's mother and how she left him in a like a homeless shelter or something for a night one time. And he got full custody, and he doesn't know where she is, but she basically doesn't care about Mike. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And of how he doesn't want Mike to hate him. And she's like, "Mike would not hate you. You've done so much for that kid." And I'm like, "Yeah, man." So then Yolanda's talking about her parents. She's like, "My parents kicked me out because they wanted to know what I was doing, and I wouldn't tell them. And I can't tell them what I'm doing at night. They're not like your parents. They won't understand. They'll tell everybody, and they'll be put in danger. And plus, they won't understand the whole being a superhero kind of thing." And I'm all like, "Yeah, Yolanda's parents seem kind of like assholes. But what are you gonna do? If my kid was a superhero, I'd be like, 'You're a superhero? That's so cool, dude.' I'm like, 'Listen, don't worry about me, man. Trust me, I will defend myself. I don't care who it is. They can have superpowers all they want. I'd be all like, I'm going down fighting, fool.' Anyways, so then Mike and Jakeem, which they have not done enough with these characters, in my opinion, but there's a lot of characters in this show that they need to balance it out. And I understand why they're not focusing on these two. But they're sitting here and they're eating waffles. Delicious. Throw some chicken in there, not that bacon. I'm not a huge pork fan. Anyways, so I can't remember what they're talking about, quitting their paper out or whatnot, but then they're talking about how they're gonna Cindy Berman is walking around with turning into an alligator, which we haven't seen in Cindy. I wonder what's gonna happen with her. I only remember seeing Cindy once in the comic books. And I can't remember her turning into an alligator type creature like her dad. I don't remember that, but I mean, maybe it's a thing later on, or whatever, in a different series. I only remember seeing her once, and I don't even remember if she had lines. I just remember seeing her, and she was like standing there like this, but with like a claw out. Anyways, or a shiv. Anyway, so then we go over to the icicle house, and this teacher comes over to talk to the grandparents. And I like this teacher, but he's been through a lot with these people. So he comes in, and he's basically going to talk to him about Cameron and his art. But Grandma Bitchface is unhappy, and she's trying to, and the grandpa is trying to be reasonable with her, but she's all, menstruating, but since she's, past the menstruating cycle, she's just, bitchy all the time. And she's all like, "This is none of his business," or "Not eins weins," and she like, throws an icicle into his chest. And she's like, "No, we don't have to worry about him because he is dead." And I'm all like, "You just killed this really nice teacher who just wanted to help." And I'm all like, "You bitch. I hope you die. I hope they kill you off because you're not a good person. You're a villain." Anyways, so then Pat's back at the shop looking up his baby mama, and in walks Daddy Croc, and he's basically looking up the ex and everything. And me, I just go, "Don't look up your exes. Even if you're trying to like reconnect your kid to them, there's a reason they're not in your life, and she sounds like a bad mom. So just cut her off." And I think that's pretty much what he says here. Anyways, so she's saying sorry to the group, and they forgive her. And then she's all like, "I want to tell Connor everything. I want to tell Icicle everything, Icicle Jr." And they're like, "No." She's like, "He deserves to know." And then Yolanda's like, "Listen, I was wrong about Cindy. Not 100% wrong, but I was wrong. A little bit wrong. So maybe we need to give Courtney some leeway here." And our man's all like, he's like, "Fine, Court. I'm here. I, trust your decision kind of thing. And I'm here to back you up. We're family. You're the only family I have left." Which I like that. I like that quality in people, even though he's like being crazy bones. But I like that quality in people. I'd like to think I have that quality in people, like, just like, we're family. I got your back no matter what. Just please, I mean, I would help you hide a body, but please don't ask me to, because I don't want to be put in that situation. You know what I'm saying? And so and in his hourglass, which is causing problems. There's a reason there's a time limit on it. And he's about to find that crap out. Although I have questions about him during the fight. Anyways, so then Mama Croc is teaching Mama Stargirl how to fight. She's like, I don't feel comfortable fighting. She's like, look at it, self-defense. And she's all like, listen, I appreciate you helping me. You're a really good friend. And she's like, you think I'm a friend? And she's like, yeah. She's like, nobody's ever called me a friend before. And she's like, I have a hard time believing that. And she gets all happy about it. I don't like these guys as good guys, but whatever. Anyway, so back at the school, these two little creepers, they use a wish to break into Cindy Berman's locker. And even Thunderbolt is saying, hey, you guys, listen, I understand you're trying to do good and everything, but this would technically be considered stalking. And they take all her crap, her makeup, which I'm all like, you guys don't need to dump out all her makeup, but whatever. Anyway, so then they find this list of possibility or I apologize, I'm yawning. Sorry, it's early for me. They find a list of laboratories of Dragon King's like laboratories, you know, that Cindy went through, and she circled one of them. And it's like the Everett farm or something like that. The Eder farm. And so they're like, we're going to go to the Eder farm and check stuff out. So then back at the Icicle Mansion, she comes over and she's like, hey, how you doing, kitty patootie, little meat cute. And they put him in the trash. You know, it's really sad. I don't remember what happened to him first season. Something happened to him the first season. Then second season, he gets that whole Eclipso thing where the paint is all like, oh, out of him and everything. And then he dies this season. And I'm all like, you know, and I do like it in terms of it's indicative of real life, because just because you're a good person doesn't mean bad things can't happen to you. But at the same time, this is a show. So, you know, can something good happen to the good person? I mean, what's next? They're going to kill off that nice waitress. You know, I'm just like, come on. So these guys are walking through town and she gets like a buzz on her goggles, and she finds out that the signal, she was tracing the signal for the cameras, and she's finding the signal, and it's coming back from the McKent house, the Icicle Mansion. And so then that night, she's been there all day apparently, and he's like, yeah, my dad would bring these snow globes home after every road trip. And he said he called them trophies. And I'm like, yeah, because he probably killed somebody on those road trips, and those are trophies of his kills. Like a little psycho. Sorry, I bumped into something. And he's like, sometimes when I wake up, I feel like he's on one of those trips, and then I realize that he's not. He's on the trip of the afterlife. Anyways, so she's like, I have something I want to tell you about your dad. And how he died. And he's like, he died trying to make the world a better place. She's like, not really. And the grandma comes in, she's like, Cameron, get away from her. She is the devil. She's the devil's harlot. And then in pops Our Man. He's like, Hulk smash and everything. He's like the Kool-Aid guy. You remember the Kool-Aid guy when he like, oh yeah, and everything through the wall? Anyways, that would have been so good if he said that. Anyways, so he's all like, it's time to take you to I'm gonna beat your face town. And so so grandma bitch face is all like, you are not welcome here, some crap like that. So they start fighting. Oh, and Wildcat comes in with Our Man. No, not Our Man. Dr. Midnight, Beth, who I like Beth. But Beth has gone back to, in this specific moment, Beth from season 1, and I didn't like Beth from season 1. I thought she was very useless. So, is it here that she's? No, she doesn't say it here. But long story short, they start fighting, and this is where it all comes in, and they're her dad, Beth's dad calls in and he's all like, I talked to Dr. McNider, which this was very a throwaway kind of thing. I was like, you guys, but he's like, it's beta, it needs to be beta tested, but your goggles have a defense mode or combat mode. So Grandma Icicle is fighting Wildcat. Icicle Jr. is fighting Our Man, and Beth and soon to be coming in Artemis are fighting Grandpa Icicle. And they're just doing this whole thing through the whole thing. And like I said, I can't really, and Courtney's just sitting here watching the whole freaking thing. And I'm like, Courtney, it's your time to get the staff. Like, be like, staff, come to me, you know, make it fly to you. But they probably spent their whole budget this with the icicles, this for visual effects, this episode. Anyways. So they're fighting, and the fighting, like I said, I can't really show you like how good the fighting is. You just got to go watch the episode. But it's very like that's really cool. It's very cool. Okay. So then Our Man grabs him by the throat, and he's like, oh, and she's like, Cameron, they killed your father. And then he all of a sudden he gets his second wind, and he starts fighting, and he's like, and everything. I'm like, your hair is messed up. I don't like it. And so he blasts Our Man into the stairs, and then he's gonna go, I don't know, and kill him or whatnot. And she's all happy about it. She's like, yes, kill some Cameron, take some out, say some of all of it. And then the dad walks in, the grandpa, and he's having a heart attack. He's grabbing his shoulder and everything. He's like, Cameron, don't do this. Remember your love. And then he collapses because he's having a heart attack. And he's like, Grandpa, and everything. And then she comes in. They're like, defibrillators are in the gloves. Because she calls her mom, because her mom's a doctor, remember? Sorry, my itches. And then, so then she zaps him, brings him back to life. I just want to say the medical stuff on this is not 100% accurate. But it's a TV show, so it's fine. But I just want to say, like, defibrillators, like, I mean, they don't work exactly the way that she used them, but it's fine. And I'm not a medical expert. I'm just saying, my wife works in the medical field, so I know that that's not exactly how it works. Okay, these medical shows have a tendency not to do things correctly. Anyways, so well, this isn't a medical show, but this superhero show is not doing the medical stuff correctly. Anyways, so he's all right, and they zoom out. So then we go over to the Eder produce farm. Oh, sorry, I thought I heard something. And these two boys they're doing their investigation, and they go up to the thing and they can't find anything. And the Mr. Eder is dead, obviously. And they go back to the barn. They're like, oh, we need a flash. We should have brought a flashlight. Like, you have a flashlight in the pen and everything. So they get Thunderbolt out, and he's all talking about how like Cindy would love it here. It's an open floor plan, yada yada yada. And they're like, and then you hear, and they're like, is that you? And he's like, I don't grunt. And they turn around, and it's an ultra humanite. And he's like, I will kill them all. And I'm all like, oh my goodness, he looks so good. So that's ultra humanite. And I'll say he's kind of like Gorilla Grodd, but not exactly. He has like mindy powers and stuff, but he's very smart and stuff. But he can't like read your mind or whatever, like Gorilla Grodd. Yeah, anyways. So I'm not 100% sold that this is the cloaked figure that we saw before, because if you remember, the cloaked figure from before had very small human hands when it punched that TV screen. So I think that Ultra Humanite is working with someone. Now, who that someone is, I don't know. But I think, okay, so first off, this show, I think, is not doing characters like Ultra Humanite correctly. This should have been practical effects. It would have been cheaper, in my opinion, to do practical effects. Get an actor in there, put some prosthetics on, get him in a bodysuit. Even if you do like with Mr. Bones, where you could have a big bodybuilder in the suit, and then just have somebody else voice over that would have been better than doing a full CGI character. Same thing with when they did with Solomon Grundy. I think Solomon Grundy, they should have done that on a green screen and then just superimposed it into the scene. But what do I know? I'm just a guy sitting and watching this show. But Ultra Humanite, he looks good. He looks good. I mean, I would have went with the big head look, but this is fine. This is totally cool. I like it. Everything's fine. And then that was the end of the episode. I think I got through everything I wanted to say as terms of the bad guy, and this episode was very good, you guys. I enjoyed it immensely. I thought in fact, the Ultra Humanite, that's going to be my thumbnail. Yeah, I don't care if it spoils anything for people. I just, but yeah, no, this was very good. I enjoyed it immensely. I thought, I thought the action sequence the fight sequence at the end was very good. The grandma was featured a little too much, in my opinion. She's all very much like, we need to take over the world. And you're like, okay, calm down, sister. But I very much enjoyed this episode. I did. And I enjoy this show. It's getting canceled. It bums me out because I'm all like, but they did say that they filmed an episode that feels like a series finale, like it's an end to all of it. And but I'm still bummed because I'm all like, you could have done some other stuff with this show, or some good stuff, and I would have liked that. But what are you gonna do? Sorry, one last sip, and then I'll just wrap this sucker up. But yeah, I really like this episode. I like this show. The reveal of Ultra Humanite was very satisfying personally for me. But what are you gonna do? Yeah. All right, you guys, tell me, what did you guys think about this episode? Did you like this episode? Did you not like this episode? What was your favorite part? Of course, it was the fight sequence, right? I know, right? Or was it the Ultra Humanite showing up? But that was such a small part. It doesn't matter. Anyways, tell me what you guys thought. Who's your favorite character on the team? Tell me what you guys think. Go ahead and leave your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys on my next Stargirl breakdown and review. You guys have a good week. Bye.